Hi everyone, coming to you from St. Paul, Minnesota. We are going to put a rain garden in our home, out in our front yard. We're going to do that between my house and my neighbor's house, and I'm going to show you why we're doing that and what our approach will be. So this is our house. We're going to put the rain garden right in this area. Reason why we're going to do this is a couple years ago I realized that all the water from this house and this house comes and drains into this area. What happens currently is that water travels right down the sidewalk, goes right into the streets, right into the sewer system. What also has happened over the years is we've gotten erosion in this area. You can see all that, and you can see how it's eroded down on this side. So that's from years of water just coming right from our roofs and going right into the street. So the solution to this problem is going to be, we're going to put a rain garden right in this area. And it's a rather large rain garden. You need a decent amount of space for a rain garden in order for this to work. And we're going to have it so that the water will now drain right straight into this rain garden. Now, thankfully, I live in an area where they have programs for this. So I live in Capital Watershed District. We have a program where they will grant up to $1,000 for a resident. They'll come out to your house first and kind of assess the situation, make sure that the project you're going to do is going to be the most effective in terms of helping with watershed. And they will then design the garden for you, make recommendations on professionals who could help you with that, and make recommendations as to where you can get native plants, which is what we will use and is what they will actually want you to use in order to qualify for the grant. We are going to, my neighbor and I are going to do this project ourselves, so we just needed the supplies, and it's about $1,000 worth of supplies. Now I've already purchased all the plants, and the plants again were from the design that the Watershed District gave us. So they gave us a plant list. I literally emailed that plant list to the nursery, who eventually delivered them to my house. And I also rented a sod cutter, which I've already cut all the sod for the garden. And I'm going to start the process of just rolling up that sod, and then we're gonna dig out the garden, which you will see in the next part of the video. So after the county met with me regarding the rain garden, they designed the rain garden for me and sent this schematic. So I have this side with the specs of the layout, and we have a second page which diagrams more specifically the plants, the plant list, as well as how they want the various different slopes and swales and berms to look. You'll notice in this plan that they have a couple of different inlets to the garden, and then an outlet which will provide for the proper ponding of the garden. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna roll up the sod to reveal the garden space, and then after that we're gonna start digging. Okay, this is the sod all removed. I used some of the sod here to fill in those spots that were being worn away by the erosion. Some dirt in there. I also fixed the sidewalk here because it had eroded and warped down, so that's all repaired. I am going to do right over here. I'm going to make it so this sidewalk sort of creates a swale. So if you can see right in there, it's level. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take off those pavers and make carve down a little swale so that the pavers will create a drain slope for the garden. Okay, so now you can see that that slopes down nicely. And then that'll all just drain right into the garden like that. Okay, so what I'm doing is we're just measuring the depth of the garden right now. So what I've done is we've just dropped a level line starting with this as the top water, the top of the pond. And basically what the plan calls for is that they want at least 9 inches of ability to pond. So what this represents is just a level line, because that's what matters with the water. And so this will be the top of the berm release, and so that's going to represent over here. So this is the berm release. So all the way across here we have this berm to allow for ponding, but we don't want it to pond more than 9 inches. And that level line lines up with about here because we measured that already. And so we're going to put rock here, and then that'll be the overflow for the garden. And then we're just going to measure down just because I want to get an idea about how deep. This is about the deepest part of the thing, and we're at about 8 inches here. So we're gonna dig, and we're looking at this area here as kind of the basin, the bottom of the garden, and we're gonna dig down a few more inches. And then once we get the basin established, then we're gonna rip that soil. So we're gonna till it, dig it up, get some air in there. I'm gonna also put some sand in there just to make sure that it's gonna drain okay. But that's kind of the next part of our garden. Okay, so we just dug out a little more. We're at a little above 9 inches there. And we're a little deeper down there, so that's great. We're just gonna put some sand in here, and then we're gonna rip up the basin of this garden, and then we should be ready to plant. All right, so we've finished the garden. You can take a look here. We've got the water inflow over here through both areas of the garden. So water coming from that house will go there. From this house will go there. We put in, as you can see, some stepping stones because this garden will need to be weeded probably frequently. And then we've got the outflow here. This berm is high enough, but at this point it's at a level to where the water will only pond at about 9 inches. And yeah, that's about it. All right, here's the rain garden. It's even raining in the garden.